Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So, it's just like a cornucopia of information and like news and stuff like that at the moment. I was doing some trawling and I came across something that has only just come out, and yeah, it's friggin' awesome. It's very crude, but it looks like it might be a goer. Anyway, let's pull this up on screen and let's have a look at one of the first iterations of a build planner. Now, this particular planner has been put together by a group on Reddit, and I'll put all the links in the description below. And it's called Marco Aguirre. I'm not good at pronouncing things because I'm Australian. But anyway, so basically about 30 different people have come together and compiled as much information as they've been able to locate into one big comprehensive pathing tree right now. Now, obviously things will change in the final game versus what this is and what's been announced to date, but this is a really good like tool, at least for now, to get an idea of what all the pathing nodes may or may not be. Anyway, let's have a quick look at it and work through it for a little bit. Okay, so this is a version that was put up around about 19 hours ago. So it's about as up to date as we have information for, and obviously doesn't include some of the leaked ascendancies and things like that. Though actually it does. There we go. So it's got a lot of updated information in it. So these came from some of the leaks, in particular, with some of these like chromonial ablution nodes and whatnot. That's pretty cool. Zealous Inquisition, which is basically explodey chest built into the ascendancy. But the biggest and most important thing here is actually got to do with the actual pathing tree itself. So, all right, so just sort of having a look through, we can see like there's a fair few nodes that haven't yet been mapped, in particular up in these upper areas up here. There's about 50% of the tree that's been mapped out to date that we are aware of, or that these guys have managed to haul information together for. But we have things like keystones. By the way, you can tick all these on as you go through, so you can sort of legit do a bit of pathing as well. And you get 5 attribute points per node instead of 10 moving forwards. But yeah, we can see some of the cool things like primal growth. We've got in your face, which I like because that sounds like something that I would say. 40% increased melee damage with hits at close range. So range in Path of Exile 2 is a big thing that dictates accuracy moving forward. So the closer you are to an enemy, the more your accuracy is going to be. We've got projectile bulwark, so 30% increased armor, defend with 120% armor against projectile attacks. Potentially that's going to be pretty good on like Titan builds that use shields. Sigil of Fire, 30% increased elemental damage against ignited enemies. And so this is like coming off the witch node that is coming up here. So you'd sort of build down here. Now the biggest thing in this sort of sector here, there tends to be a lot of minion-based nodes. This is sort of going into like the mana-based nodes on the right top part of the tree, I've noticed. So like Ice Wall, and also like, actually that's really cool. 200% increased Ice Crystal Life. That's unmapped. All the green ones are mapped. Obviously Eldritch Battery, but we know that there's changes coming to this. Convalescence. What's that? 40% increase, faster start of energy shield recharge. That's actually really cool because basically it's indicating what I was alluding to in an earlier video, that energy shield recharge is going to be potentially better than running your actual ES recharge per second. And the reason being is because even like if we have a look at the Zealot's Oath node, energy shield does not recharge with Zealot's Oath now. So that actually means that potentially not running Zealot's Oath with like Chaos Inoculation builds is going to be better. We've got things like Ancestral Bond, which gives you unlimited totems, and totems reserve 100 spirit each. So if you can throttle up spirit, you can have more totems. Obviously Calibration, which is flat mana. We've got Explosive Impact, so burning enemies you kill have 5% chance to explode, dealing a 10th of their maximum life. That's actually really good, because I think the old node was like 3%. That's very similar to that's almost exactly the same as the Chieftain node from the Chieftain Ascendancy in Path of Exile 1. Then we've got Hallowed, just gives you increased ES. Heavy Buffer, again, reduced life, increased 40% increased maximum energy shield. Now, that being said, like, again, these could all be subject to change. Exploit Elements, 40% increased damage with hits against enemies affected by elemental ailments. We've obviously got, like, elemental clusters where you could set these up for, like, weapon switching. Jagged Shards, increased crit for spells, minion damage, chaos damage. So chaos dot's going to be a big thing on the Witch. Dampening shield. Gain 12% of maximum energy shield as additional stun threshold. That's pretty cool. Faster shield recharge. There seems to be a lot of faster shield recharge nodes on here so far that I can see. And then basically we start to sort of come down into this other sort of area down here, which usually is the dex area for the ranger. And basically, you know, we've got honed instincts, we've got blur, which is increased movement speed and flat dex, mark cast speed, so mark skills have 10% increased speed. Enemies you mark have 15% reduced accuracy rating, that's pretty cool. Flashy deflection, so we got prevent 3% of deflected attack damage, 20% increased chance to deflect. Now, I was thinking about this when I played Path of Exile 2 last year. Deflection seems like a really cool stat, because we know there's thorns built into this tree and into certain things, so that's really cool. Can poison enemies an additional time? Oh, okay, that's can poison enemies an additional time, okay. Evasion rating, flat evasion, death from afar. Projectiles have 25% increased crit hit, chance against enemies further than 6 meters. Projectiles deal 25% increased damage against enemies further than 6 meters, so basically off-screening enemies. There's just a lot of really cool nodes in here. Elemental equilibrium again, so that's back in the game, though it looks like it might be a little bit different than what it used to be. Multitasking, so cooldown recovery, so where there is cooldown. Versatile arms, 6% increased attack speed with one-handed melee weapons, 15% increased accuracy with one-handed, so that's one-handed. Shield nodes, shield expertise, spike shield, which I think we covered in an earlier video. Refills, so more blast charge generation. Pinpoint, yeah, there's a lot of fantastic nodes in the street. Giant Slayer we knew about. Full salvo, 25% increased damage with crossbows for each type of ammunition fired. So you could do weapon switching builds with the mercenary, and so you do like ice fire lightning, and that's going to increase with full salvo as far as damage goes. 25% chance for crossbow attacks to not consume bolts. I feel like that would throw off your like rhythm as you're reloading weapons, but yeah. Power shots, 80% increased crit damage bonus with crossbows. I feel like crossbows are going to be like that thing that could potentially one hit. So then we've got polymath, we've got jack of all trades, titan bindings, which I think I covered off on. But yeah, overall the tree looks pretty like cool. Like if you're playing like the warrior, I'm probably going to suggest you like come down here. You pick up like relentless, and you get these like regeneration nodes potentially early on. Generally, we never used to go for the early damage nodes. We go for like defense nodes. 80% increased armor from equipped body armor seems like it's too good to be true. And then basically you could move into like these sort of shield nodes or defensive nodes here. And then we have like shield nodes all over the place too. So there's Warcry buffing skills there, and I think I saw Warcry skills up further somewhere up here. So yeah, there's just a lot of different nodes. Now as far as, there we got shield skills there. And I think there's more shield nodes over here, potentially as well. I think we come up, yeah, we've got shield cluster up here. There's a lot of shield nodes across the map, because block is going to be pretty significant moving forwards. But yeah, this is all just stuff that we're going to have a play at. Anyway, so yeah, overall, really cool build tree. I think this was put together by a group called BooparinoBR. Or a Reddit user by the name of BooparinoBR, and it's overall just a really cool sort of like, yeah, concept tree. They've been updating this as well, so yeah, check it out if you're in, you know, having a troll through. But yeah, this could be a really cool tree to sort of, if you wanted to start planning. I know people want to jump into the game like cold turkey, but if you're like me and you like build planning and stuff like that, this is just, it's not complete, but it's really cool to sort of start looking at stuff with. So yeah, don't forget to like and sub to the channel. Hopefully we get some more info like this. I don't consider this like data mining. This is all just based on the releases that have been put out. It's surprising that this isn't on the PoE2 DB wiki yet, but it probably will make its way on there very soon. Yeah, it's not even on there yet. But yeah, if you wanted to have a bit of a muck around with a build planner, definitely check it out in the description below, and I will see you guys in the next video.